I'm not going to beat up on Baker Mayfield today. I'm over it. I want him to do well in Carolina. Okay, I got no interest in that. I believe it or not, I may be critical of athletes, but I root for all of them. I really do. I can't root against people that love their sport. I don't care if you're a writer, a politician, an athlete. I can't root against people who care. And Baker Mayfield really wants to win. And he's had the you-know-what beat out of him physically and emotionally, and now in the press. So right now there's brand protection. Baker took a shot, leaked some stuff his camp did to bang on Kevin Stefanski, and the Browns now are firing back. And the Browns obviously can leak way more than Baker can. And there's a story out from Jason Lloyd of The Athletic that Baker was widely viewed as childish and immature. His behavior annoyed some teammates, divided the locker room. He was difficult to coach. He had a beef with OBJ. He was miffed about a variety of things that happened last year, including the fact that the in-house radio show dared to criticize him. So I had told you this last year. In the middle of the season, I was told, and joy is my witness, I said on the show, Andrew Berry's over Baker Mayfield. I was told by somebody who knew Andrew, they were done with him. They were over him. But I'm not here to beat up on Baker because I do think he'll have success in Carolina, and I want him and his wife to have a great life, and he's a young kid, and let's get it going. So I want to make this a macro topic. I'm going to give you a bunch of names. Jameis Winston, Baker Mayfield, Jay Cutler, Drew Lock, Johnny Manziel. All talented enough to play in the NFL. All with major maturity issues. Sometimes when you get the big job in the corner office, it's not what you say. It's what you don't say. You don't have to win every press conference. The three greatest athletes I've ever seen in my life at this quality are Derek Jeter with the Yankees, Eli Manning with the Giants, and Tom Brady with the Patriots. They never turned down an interview, and they talked and talked and talked and talked, and they never said anything. They never said anything. And I know the media goes, oh, eye roll. That is absolutely a skill. Baker Mayfield, that dog emptied the tank with every press conference. If he lost, he was snarky. If he won, he was cocky. And the entire time I kept saying, folks, you saw it when you drafted him. And that's the interesting thing about here. It would be easy for me to pick on Cleveland Brown fans, but you're fans. You're crazy. It was remarkable to me to listen, and I've seen this before, where scouts and general managers are like, oh, I love his passion. Well, passion and maturity can coexist. Russell Wilson's passionate. Patrick Mahomes is passionate. Joe Burrow's passionate. Who says you can be passionate and immature? I am here to tell you another college quarterback will come out this year and the next year and the next year. And I'll bang on him, and I'll say he's immature. I said it with Drew Lock. I said it with Manziel. I said it before everybody else. Everybody else was, oh, Drew Lock can do this. I said, no, that's not going to work. And I said it with Manziel. And I said it with Baker. And Jay Cutler had a sensational arm. He went to Vanderbilt. That's a great school, so he's got to be fairly bright. I watched him once on his reality show. He doesn't lack bright. He doesn't lack smart. He lacks maturity. He's got to win every argument. Trevor Lawrence will be on our show today. Last year in Jacksonville, in NFL history, may have been one of the biggest circuses, a complete circus. He never threw the owner, the coach, a teammate, the medical staff, or the media under the bus, not one time. And he's younger than Baker Mayfield. All my favorite quarterbacks, Brady, Russell Wilson, Mahomes, Josh Allen, they're mostly your favorite. I love Derek Carr, Joe Burrow, love Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert. They all have one thing in common. Some are big, some are small, some have huge arms, some are mobile, some are not mobile. There's one common thread. They're adults. I know it's unfair. It really is unfair. But for quarterbacks, more than any position in any league in America, it's not just about your talent. Are you grown up? That's why I think it's fair to ask questions during the combine about your mom and your dad, and go to your little league coaches and go to your high school coaches and ask really personal questions, because you're going to be the face of the franchise. Were you a jerk in little league? Did people like you in high school? Were you a bully? Did you help others? Did you do charity work? I watched Baker grab his stuff in college games and plant flags, and I was like, that ain't going to work. Bruh, that ain't going to work. Drew Lock, Johnny Manziel, Jameis Winston, Baker Mayfield, Jay Cutler. It's not a talent thing. You got to be an adult to play that position. I don't demand that from a linebacker, a corner, a receiver, a shooting guard. I really don't. Quarterback is different. I'm not here to say I told you so. I'm not here to beat up on Baker Mayfield. But all my favorite quarterbacks all play differently. The great talent when you're a leader is not what you say. It's knowing when not to say it. And that's where Baker fails. I do wish him luck. This is interesting. So last week, I did a top 10 quarterback list, and I had my list. And it just so happens that the NFL executives, coaches, and some players made their picks for the best passers in the NFL. So the first thing is our list is almost identical, which is what you'd expect. We all kind of know who the best quarterbacks are. Here's the list. The only difference is they like Dak a little more than I do. I think Dak's fine. I wouldn't put him top 10, but I'd probably put him closer to 13, but that's fine. They don't have Derek Carr in the top 10, which is an outrage. They also don't have Kyler Murray, who I would argue I think throws the prettiest ball in the league. In terms of just what does it look like aesthetically, it's beautiful. But I mean, it's most of the stuff, we almost have them in the exact same order. But the one thing that blows me away here is that the NFL isn't baseball, which is just like trapped with tradition. Like baseball is all about yesterday. And the NBA tends to really play up glamour and style. Nothing wrong with that. And I was introduced to the NBA mostly by Dr. J. Like style matters in basketball. Nobody gives a rip in football. You win games, nobody cares. Brady, for most of his career, has not been stylish. And we don't really care about, the minute Brady was the GOAT, we don't even talk about Joe Montana. But it is amazing to me that people that are paid to do this for a living, players and coaches, would put Aaron Rodgers above Tom Brady and Mahomes and Joe Burrow and Josh Allen. With a minute 30 left, 75 yards and you trail. You take Aaron over Brady? One NFL offensive coordinator who voted Brady number one put it best. He said, Brady's the ultimate end-of-game guy. Last shot in hoops guy. Ball in his hands, wouldn't take anybody else. And I think part of this is, because we know Aaron's last 16 playoff games, he shrinks. He's 7-9. He completes less than 64% of his throws. And that's often as a home favorite. He's got the better team. But style, which usually is associated with basketball, Aaron is more stylish, and he's cooler and more flamboyant and got a little attitude and a little edge. And it does look prettier when he throws the ball, doesn't it? It's prettier. I mean, Phillip Rivers does not throw a pretty football. Peyton Manning did not throw a pretty football. Kyler Murray, Aaron Rodgers is pretty. You know, Dan Marino is pretty. John Elway won Super Bowls. But one thing that's interesting about Tom Brady and Aaron, there are no more secrets. Like from their personalities to their games. There's no secrets about Derek Jeter at the end or Eli Manning. You know what they do well. You know what they don't. You know their strengths. You know their liabilities. You know their personalities. Aaron's got a lot of wow moments. But in 14 years, he's got 18 fourth quarter comebacks. Derek Carr has almost double in 8 seasons. Derek Carr, the knock on Derek Carr was always he won't let it go down the field. But what's interesting is late in games when he trails, that finally forces him to, and he's really good at it. Aaron's the opposite. Aaron will take big swings early when he leads, when he's at home, when he's comfortable. But when he trails late, as somebody said during this poll, and I thought this was a very honest and obvious comment by an NFC coach talking about Aaron Rodgers. He says, late in the down with pressure, he doesn't take risks. There are certain plays when he's throwing an easy completion on a smoke route, and it's a critical moment, and you're thinking, is he really trying to win? That's exactly what all of us thought during the Niners game. What is he doing? Is he playing safe? Is he protecting stats? What is he doing? But it is amazing to me that I would argue on Aaron's behalf aesthetically, optically, over all the quarterbacks on this list, Brady is boring. Brady is repetitive. I say this all the time. Somebody once told me this about wealth. Wealth is boring. It's creating something like a computer and selling the same thing over and over and over and over. Art, Different painting every time. Aaron's the artist of the league. But isn't it kind of amazing all these years in a sport that is solely judged on winning big games? That's why we don't talk Marino, and we do talk more Aikman, and we do talk more Montana, and we do talk more Elway, and we do talk more Brady, and now we talk more Mahomes. The sport is not about history or glamour or flash or style. It's just about, do you win big games? That's why Eli Manning is a legend. He and Phillip Rivers was the better regular season quarterback. One is a legend. Look at one is coaching high school football when he's done. One is all over the media. One is a legend. Advertisers want him. Media companies want him. Everybody wants one. Phillip was better than Eli during the season, not in the postseason. And it is amazing to me that still to this day, the aesthetics with Rodgers are number one in football over Brady. If you told me minute 25 left, trailing in a game, Mahomes, Brady, Russell Wilson, Joe Burrow, Matt Stafford, Josh Allen. I mean, did everybody watch Kansas City Buffalo? Was that game not available to these scouts? Did you guys not watch that thing? 13 seconds left. Mahomes drove him down. And they have him 2? I don't mind fans being goofy. Fans should be. Fan is short for fanatic. But when people who work for a living, that's the guy? Really? Keeps talking about retirement? That's the guy? All right. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.